Hello and welcome. This is the Ascension Football Show. I'm Joel Villafana. Women's football back on the front burner. That's right, girls can kick too. And with the Women's World Cup on the horizon, the good news is that the Women's Football League has a brand new sponsor. Here's what's coming up on the Ascension.
Melbourne have a history of at least 23 years.
23 years this club is in existence.
The Women's League has been treated as the bastard child.
The importance of nutrition, the importance of remaining fit.
All right, let's head straight to our big story of the week, women's football. Bigger and better than ever before. Now, to be fair, women's football in TNT treated like that miserable little sister that you put in the naughty corner. Yeah, local female players for many, many years would have been unhappy with the treatment meted out to them, especially when they compare the situation with regard to their male counterparts. But that's about to change, folks. As recently, the local Women's Football League, known here as Wolf, they have been boosted with a major sponsorship deal. It will be now known as the Wolf Ascension Football League. The Ascension brand has jumped out and thrown its money where its mouth is. The league will consist of two divisions, 9 teams in the Super League, the Premier Division, and then 7 teams in a First Division. So that's 9 and 7, 16 female teams will be in action this year. The league now is just about ready to jump off, teams and players excited to get back onto the training pitch as the Ascension Women's Football League getting ready to kick off. I'm happy to have one of the men behind the Ascension Women's Football League, the president of Women's Football, Kenrick Hoyt. He's the president of the Women's Football League. Mr. Hoyt, thank you very much for being here and welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So you must be beaming with excitement. You must be happy that one, there's a major sponsorship deal on the table and that women's football will be back up and running sooner rather than later.
I'm very happy to have especially the corporate sponsor that and the level of sponsorship that is geared towards women's football in 2021. Our, as you rightly put it previously, the Women's League has been treated as the bastard child in football in Trinidad and Tobago for far too long, right? And they have achieved just as, not as much as, but just as much as the men's team as far as World Cup football is, right? In 2014, I think it was 2014, the women's team almost qualified for a World Cup, losing out at home to Ecuador by 1-0 in a goal that was scored in 80-something minutes, right? And after that, everything fell flat. We're back to normalcy, back to being treated as a bastard child. At that stage, the whole stadium was filled with people, right, supportive of the women's football. But after that qualification game, everything went back to the normal.
Put this particular sponsorship by Ascension into perspective for me. What does it actually mean, especially for the Wolf League that I know have struggled for many, many years to just get up and running?
Okay, let me put it mildly. Women's football had been in the past years been, how to put it, given a first prize about 10,000 TT dollars for their major first division league teams, right? And the cost of running a football club, whether it's women or men's football, the cost of uniforms, the cost of everything, Gatorade, coaching, everything else, it goes way beyond that 10,000.
Yeah.
And to find sponsorship for the clubs, it was kind of hard for some clubs. You know, they go out to the people, the parents of the club to help assist with the club. I would know that because I had a daughter play for the national team. My daughter is Janine Francois, vice captain of the present national team for the last qualification that they had, right? And I went through the whole regimen of having a daughter playing football and having to see the struggles of other kids playing football alongside her, right? We had, I was involved in the really mentioned women's football, where I held the position of the director of football operations, and we had a lot of success, but it cost a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah. So just referring to even the prize money structure, based on what I'm seeing with this particular sponsorship deal, you're looking at the first division, the Premier Division, the Super League as they're going to call it, $30,000 first
Yes,
prize,
triple
second prize $20,000, third prize $10,000. So that already is a bit of a spike.
It's a spike up.
It's a bit of a spike.
Of course it is.
Yeah, and looking forward to at least players being able to be comfortable playing in the league.
Of course, of course.
Where are we now, Mr. Hoyt? In terms of, I know the pandemic, as everything would have affected all the runnings of teams and football and everything that goes with that. Where are we now in terms of developing the women's game again? Are teams able to play? Are we going to have a coaches getting out there? Where are we now?
All right, right now, the Wolves met with the head of the normalization committee along with the head of the director of women's football, Ms. Janelle James, and Mr. Robert Haddad, right? And we are now trying to chart the way forward with the women's football, seeing that this year is a year where we have World Cup qualifications coming down to in October. So we have to be prepared to have this league up and running, all right, with, of course, the permission of the government, right? So that the girls would be fit and ready to be able to qualify the national team for the next World Cup in 2023 in Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah, so this tournament, very, very timely when you look at the World Cup on the horizon, the World
Definitely.
Cup qualifiers. World Cup qualifiers are actually taking place in October
of
this year.
Yeah.
So playing this tournament, I would hope it by at least what? April, all fingers crossed.
Yes.
All authorities giving all the all
Yes.
clear by April. This tournament should be hopefully up and running. I'm going out on a limb that April, putting a little pressure on the authorities. Let's get football back up and running. This would mean that we would get to see a cadre of female players on the pitch. That a national team can be chosen. That is what
it's all about. We will have a national coach for the Trinidad and Tobago team will be announced probably at the end of this month.
Right.
And so that person will be able to look at the players, the pool of players that they could select the national team from, along with those players, the few players that we have playing internationally.
Yeah. I mean, you have a daughter playing, as I said, and the excitement, are the girls ready to get back playing? What's the feeling among the local coaches, that local women fraternity?
The local coaches calling every day.
Yeah.
To find out when will we begin?
Yeah.
When can we start to coach? Where are we? Where are we at this point in time? You know? And we as Wolf as an executive, we are not sitting. We are going around. We have a letter we're going to pen to the minister and ask for the league to give us a way forward to begin this league in a timely manner so that the girls can be fit. Because we can't have a football team going out to represent the country and they're not fit. It makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
Right? All the other countries and teams right now practicing, training, playing in leagues. We're not doing anything at the moment. So we are going to the minister and ask that they at least allow us to play a league, if even it's in on one ground, where we can follow all the protocols available, right, and have the children playing sport again.
Final message to the Ascension brand, the fact that this partnership now exists. How how long you're hoping that this partnership will go on, because I know the Wolf League needs support, and this, as I said, was a major development in women's football historically here in Trinidad and Tobago. I know the Wolf League struggled to even just put together a few games every week.
Well, my whole take on this is a big thank you to the Ascension League. First of all, because we as TT Wolf, or before that the Women's Football Association, never had a corporate sponsor that came together with us and actually had a league up and running.
Never.
Never.
In the history of Wolf.
In the history of Wolf. All right? So we now have a partner that we could go forward with. We would struggle and go out to get small sponsorship and put everything together to try to run the league. Now we have a corporate sponsor. We can go to the government, we can go to other smaller sponsors and have the league running in a proper manner.
Yeah.
But I have to say a special thank you for Ascension for coming and assisting in the development of women's football in Trinidad and Tobago.
The Ascension Women's Football League to kick off in April. You have to speak it out there. You have to put it out there. In April, we will start seeing Ascension Women's Football playing with our girls getting ready to qualify for the Women's World Cup. That will take place in 2023.
2023.
In 2023, I think Australia and New Zealand that part of the world.
A dual host in Africa.
And it's a rebuilding of women's football, I think, in this country, because
Yes.
I think almost, I don't want to say starting from scratch, but it's a rebuilding of
course.
the women's game here in TNT.
Of course.
Yeah?
Of course.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hoyt, for joining us on the Ascension show. We are coming back, folks. That was our big story. Women's football back on the front burner, and that is good news. Backed by the Ascension brand. When we come back, we go up and down the Ascension Football League.
The situation we have here is that these characters, and I refer to them as pests, right? What they are doing is destroying our country, but not on my watch. No street, no turf, no block shall belong to these cockroaches, right? It's no longer business as usual. Happy hour is over. If they don't fear God, at least they will fear Terminix.
Have you considered how your methods could impact on pests across the country?
I find we look after the rights of pests as opposed to the rights of the 1.3 million law-abiding citizens in Trinidad and Tobago. I wonder if Roach Ladden's son come here for the carnival, if you'll interview him, eh?
But how could you defend one shot, one kill?
What, you want me to throw a pillow at him?
I didn't say that.
No, well, if a roach jumps in front of you now, what will you do?
Run.
Oh, Jesus, Lord Father.
Pests bothering you? Call Terminix at 672-5007 or 672-0042 or visit our website at terminix.co.tt for a free quote and consultation. Join our fight against pests.
Get in the game with Ascension. Quality for champions.
Ascension! Ascension! Premium quality and style make you stand out all the time. Ascension is quality for champions. Ascension fit is always right. Take your game to higher heights. Ascension got the quality for champions. So everybody say, hey, oh. We wearing Ascension when we play. We run out on the field in style. What's the brand that we want? Ascension! 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 We wearing what we wearing is Ascension. Quality for a champion. Ascension! We wearing what we wearing is Ascension. Quality for a champion. Ascension! We wearing what we wearing is Ascension.
Get in the game with Ascension. Quality for champions.
Pests bothering you? Call Terminix at 672-5007 or 672-0042 or visit our website at terminix.co.tt for a free quote and consultation. Join our fight against pests.
Amante Del Cafe is located at Magnificent Mall, number 271 Southern Main Road, McBean, Couva. Amante Del Cafe. Happiness begins with brew. Lasso Frey Maritime Limited provides boat storage, hull and launch, boat repairs, boat engine repairs, secured parking, 24-hour security, and extensive camera system, boat charters, boat rentals, and down the island parties. For more info, contact 634-1653. Lasso Frey Maritime Limited, the best in marina services. Life's better on a boat.
Yeah, we are back. This is the Ascension Football Show, and it's time to go up and down the Ascension Football League. And we are heading up on the east side again this week, where we find Malabar FC. Now, they played in the Super League back in 2012 and 2014, and now they're doing their thing in the East Zone, representing the East Zone. Malabar will be coming all guns blazing to represent their community in the Ascension Football League this year, in the second division of the league. We are pleased to have with us the head coach of this team, Julius Edwards, joining us on set. Mr. Edwards, thank you very much.
Nice having us here.
Coach Man, how long have you been coaching Malabar FC?
Well, I've been coaching Malabar FC for the last 16 years.
Okay.
Because more or less Malabar FC was coached before by Roll Edwards, which is deceased. So Malabar have a history of at least 23 years.
23 years this club is in existence.
Yeah.
Take me back. How, I mean, you are what? You're about 24 now?
24?
No.
That's very nice. I would like to be.
You like to be,
Yeah,
but take me back those 23 years.
All right, well, Malabar FC more or less started as a family-oriented team.
Right.
And from the family, we carried it into the community, like through barbecues, through all these different things. So the community get on board.
So it really was the Edwards family?
Yeah, it was the Edwards family.
It was the Edwards family from Malabar.
From Malabar. Mm-hmm. So in the history of it now, for the years going, we have produced players that have gone on to the national team, like Dorian Hiley, Karen Edwards. Yeah, we had Ronnie Charles. Mm-hmm. Also, we had fellas that went to different colleges outside, because we had a program in 2014 that had youth going out and had a little orientation in colleges.
Yeah. So you made a contribution to the nationals. Okay.
Yeah.
What does this club mean to the community? 23 years is a long time for a club.
What this club has done is that all the different fractions and different divisions in the community, we brought everybody together to support one goal. And one goal is Malabar FC. So what it is more or less is the beacon of the community. So when Malabar FC have a game, all the borders will be crossed to make it one goal.
I know that it's challenging times for clubs, and clubs at all different levels.
Yeah.
But as coach now, with the anticipation that the country will open back up where football is concerned, are you getting players now, getting players together? How have you been able to manage that process?
Malabar FC is a family. So we have a chat, we keep talking to each other through pre-season, straight to the league, right? So more or less we have a schedule where we just give all the players to keep themselves. You won't be 100% fit, but at least when we start, you get at least 30% to get us to where we're looking to go to.
Right. So not training right now, but hoping that
yeah, well, we had a meeting last night to start off
to start
today.
things off. Yeah. The experience in the Super League, that would have been probably a bigger stage in terms of a club.
Yeah.
What was that like, 2012, 2014?
That was one of the biggest achievements to the community, because when we do something for the community. And that's just Malabar. So in that time, the level we had something like about 10 to 15 maxis leaving the community for each game here. So Malabar is community oriented. So we're coming back here in this league here, Malabar more or less have a joy in it right now, knowing that we have something to support which is positive. Because we see what's going on right now. The majority of the community is only negative too. So we're trying to bring back community heroes back into the community through sports.
Yeah, nicely. What's the ambition of this team? I mean, and I'm talking realistic ambition. Can you go out to win this second division and work your way up the Ascension?
Well, what Malabar is a team that is deal with effectiveness. So anytime we enter into a tournament, we don't ever go nothing but first to get to the other level, because Malabar is the dream for the last 24 years is to get in the Pro League and represent Trinidad and Tobago in the club champion or champion. Right?
Big ambition.
Big ambition. So we see what's going on in the country. So Malabar FC have a program which they call the Dutch Mythology of Football. So with that, we have under 14, under 16, to division, to the senior team. So with this now, we have a style of football which Malabar have in the whole, different to everybody in the community. Around Trinidad and Tobago.
And up the entire youth system.
Yeah, up to the
14, 16 going up. Tell me a little bit, I mean, I don't know how, are you able to speak to players coming out of the club that will be representing the club this year?
Yeah.
Like players to watch, you know?
Yeah, well, we have
players to watch out
some,
for
well,
this year?
as after 2014, we restructured. So the last 4 years, we had more or less a training program stint to get the players together, because the system is a system. To perfect it, you need years. It's like walking, you had to sleep and walk it
Right.
to perfect it. So for the years with the how we camaraderie keeping together, the players that come out we come in, of the team, which I will highlight, is Corey Stewart. He was also a national runner. Well, we have back Dorian Hiley back onto the team for this season. We have David Power, that'll be the captain for the team this year. They are back. We brought some senior in with the youths to get back to the cohesiveness of what we had, because the other players is who come in to explain to them what it takes to go to this level, because they were here already to that level. So they will come to carry us here. And as time go along, we always like to bring little outsiders and these little players to mess with the team. Nice. So Malabar is a team, well, in 2014 we had some Grenadians, some Vincentians, we had a Jamaican. So we always look out to the Caribbean to look for young talent to bring into our team also.
Yeah. 23 years.
Yeah, 23 years.
And counting.
Yes, and it's a joy. It was every day you go out, there's a joy knowing that everybody knew in the community the history of Malabar. So if somebody say, you looking like you could play football on the streets, they will say, hey, come, let me carry you by Mr. Edwards. So everybody knew that Malabar FC is a beacon in the community for positivity.
Brother, continue what you're doing.
Nice.
Coach Julius Edwards of Malabar FC joining us as we head up and down the Ascension League. Look out for Malabar FC in the Ascension League. They will be climbing up the second division and trying to get to the very top as the journey continues right here on the Ascension Football Show. We'll be right back.
The situation we have here is that these characters, and I refer to them as pests, right? What they are doing is destroying our country, but not on my watch. No street, no turf, no block shall belong to these cockroaches, right? It's no longer business as usual. Happy hour is over. If they don't fear God, at least they will fear Terminix.
Have you considered how your methods could impact on pests across the country?
I find we look after the rights of pests as opposed to the rights of the 1.3 million law-abiding citizens in Trinidad and Tobago. I wonder if Roach Ladden's son come here for a carnival, if you'll interview him, eh?
But how could you defend one shot, one kill?
What, you want me to throw a pillow at him?
I didn't say that.
No, well, if a roach jumps in front of you now, what will you do?
Run.
Oh, Jesus, Lord Father.
Pests bothering you? Call Terminix at 672-5007 or 672-0042 or visit our website at terminix.co.tt for a free quote and consultation. Join our fight against pests.
Get in the game with Ascension. Quality for champions.
Ascension! Premium quality and style make you stand out all the time. Ascension is quality for champion. Ascension fit is always right. Take your game to higher heights. Ascension got the quality for champions. So everybody say, hey, oh, we wearing Ascension when we play. To run out on the field in style. What's the brand that we want? Ascension. We wearing what we wearing is Ascension. Quality for a champion. Ascension. We wearing what we wearing is Ascension. Quality for a champion. Ascension. We wearing what we wearing is Ascension.
Get in the game with Ascension. Quality for champions. Amante Del Cafe is located at Magnificent Mall, number 271 Southern Main Road, McBean, Couva. Amante Del Cafe. Happiness begins with brew. Lasso Frey Maritime Limited provides boat storage, hull and launch, boat repairs, boat engine repairs, secured parking, 24-hour security, and extensive extensive camera system, boat charters, boat rentals, and down the island parties. For more info, contact 634-1653. Lasso Freight Maritime Limited, the best in marina services. Life's better on a boat.
I am Jamal Crichton. I am the captain of Terminex Larkota Rangers. The first time I started playing football was in La Hakata, Phase 4. Well, some friends and I, we were just in the field, kicking the ball, passing it around, knocking it around, and I realized that there was something special about the feel of this ball, like that's something that I could have continued doing for the rest of my life. I had a passion, a drive for it immediately. Well, it emerged immediately. As soon as I started kicking that ball, I started feeling, well, this is the right thing for me. And there was this one guy by the name of Cohen Jones. He came around, he saw the youths playing, and from that, he was like, he needed to form a side from this group here. He said he's seeing talent in this group, and he needs to form a side. So he went on to form a team called the team La Hakata, Phase 4 La Hakata to be exact. We used to train, a lot of talented players, and from there he took it up. He took up the responsibility to carry us to various tournaments, Marvin Forston, Republic Cup, a lot of different tournaments where the players could have expressed themselves. And from there he saw a talent. Well, my role is very simple because I am a very basic player. I play box-to-box at times. I even play attacking midfield as well as defensive midfield. You understand? But right now, I'm more comfortable with the box-to-box midfield. I started playing attacking midfield, but now I'm very, very comfortable with the box-to-box, which entails both attacking and defensive. My first professional experience playing football was with Mr. Dave Commoner, known to many as Hoghead. The name of the team was La Hakata XF. We played in various tournaments. One of the tournaments that stood out for me was the UE League. That is where I got my first experience playing with him. I was age 13, playing in open division, and in that said tournament, I came out in the top 7 players, which was, to me, was a very great achievement at that time, for that age. So that was my first experience. From there, I went on to play with the La Hakata Sporting Academy. From this same environment, this same area, La Hakata Phase 2, where the Terminex La Hakata Rangers is now set up. From the La Hakata Sporting Academy, I went on to play to the University of Trinidad and Tobago, where I got a scholarship. I remember that day like yesterday. I was training here, right here at Phase 2, and I got a call from my past principal of St. Augustine, and he immediately brought a message to me that, someone was interested in me, and there was a screening at Omera campus, UTT. So he recommended that I go down there and try to make the team because the head coach was already speaking of me already. So I decided to go. I went there and they were pleased with my performance. And from there, I took the scholarship at UTT, where I pursued my bachelor's degree in sports studies. Well, the experience at UTT changed my life because of the fact that UTT, I played as a forward, a center forward. I usually play defensive midfield, attacking midfield, or centre back. And that was my first experience as playing forward. And well, Gary Cummings was the one who introduced me to that position, because he thought that I had something in me when he saw me strike the ball. So I went on to play forward. The environment at UTT was a very great one, because I learned a lot from the coaches, from the players, you know, socializing, you know, getting along. I learned quite a lot at that university. So at UTT, I started playing forward. This position was new to me, and I developed a love for it, you know, simply because it entails scoring goals, and that is something I love to do. I love to score, you understand? So with that experience, I think my game have improved. You know, I started to grow a lot in the game. I remember we played South Zone. I came out Player of the Year in the second division. There were 2 divisions, and I was the Player of the Year in the second division. I think Marcus Joseph was the Player of the Year in the first division. I was the one in the second division. I came out with most goals for my club. I came out most valuable player as well. And the following year, I got most promising player as well. So I had a lot of achievements at UTT. And as I said, I really love to score goals, so I was able to express myself a little more at UTT. I haven't got any national call-ups at all at UTT, and that was one of the reasons that I left UTT after I finished my scholarship, because the coach was like, you know, you could still play and stuff. You know, not because you finish, you accomplish your scholarship, it's time to leave. You know, you could still play and represent the university. And I was like, you know, I want to go on to play professional. I want to go on to play to represent my country, you know, at the highest stage. And he was like, what make you think you cannot achieve that here? You understand? And sad to say, but that is how Trinidad football is. You know, they look at the highest level, which is the professional league. I wouldn't say Trinidad football, but all over the world, you know, which is the professional league that doesn't really go much into the minor leagues. And we were playing South Zone. And at that time, you know, it would have been really difficult for me, you know, to get a call-up. So that's why I went to Central FC. 2017, I went to Central FC. One of my childhood friends invited me there, Dwayne Mockett. Went to play a practice match, and the coach saw what I had, and he selected me to go on the trip with the entire team, which was CFU. We went to Jamaica. We played a tournament. We didn't do so well, but I got the experience, which was the most important for me at that time. From Central FC, I went on to play at Jablete. Jablete, I had a lot of great highlights, scored a couple goals, assisted a lot, and from there, I came to Terminex Larkota Rangers, where I was introduced to Mr. Richard Ferguson, who was quite keen and honest to the players. You know, he was real with the players. You know, he said one thing and he kept his word, he held his word, and we must respect him for that. You know, coming to the ground itself, you are able to acquire a lot of information as well from him. You know, he would put the players to sit down and say meeting, just call the players and be like meeting. You know, in the stands, he would brief us about the importance of nutrition, the importance of remaining fit, whether you're in season or off season. You know, I think his approach is the right approach. Because if you look at the clubs, the professional clubs in Europe, I think it's the same blueprint. You know, Mr. Richard Ferguson has that approach. And for any professional team, we need that. You understand? So I want to thank him as well on behalf of myself, my team, and by extension, La Hocketa, you know, for what he has done. The system that we play here is the first time I've ever played this system, which is the 4-4-2. However, this system is unique in the sense that you play on the counter attack, right? So the entire team sits back and awaits it come like you invite the other team into your half, and as they reach, you know, you squeeze, you win back the ball and you counter. This is the first time I have played this type of system before, and I think, well, I always open to any challenge, and when I started, it was really tough, and I was like, you had to overcome this challenge, and here I am today, you know, comfortable playing this position, coming out leading goal scorer in the Ascension, in the professional league, right, and in the top 2 in the Ascension tournament as well. So I think I can safely say that I've gained a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge around this team, and my game has grew tremendously. When I was appointed captain of the Terminex La Hocketa Rangers, you know, I was surprised because of the names that it had, you know, the egos. There was a lot of big egos, and he appointed me as the captain. You understand? And this was something that stood out for me. I was really, really, really grateful for that, and I started working on myself as a person, you know, being the captain of this caliber of players, and I began to grow. Well, as the football is about to go back on the front burner, I am very grateful for that. One of my ambitions is to take this team as far as possible. You know, not only in the Ascension tournament, but as well as the Caribbean tournament that he has coming up. You know, I really, really want us to stand out and, you know, achieve the best for the team, which is placing first in all tournaments, you know, making the most valuable player, having most goals, you know, all these achievements. I would really like these achievements for the team. As a professional footballer, no matter where you're from, which part of the world, to me, your desire should be to play at the highest level, highest competitive level. So definitely, one of my goals is to play for the national team. I may not like the settings at this point, but my initial goal is to play for the national team at some point in time. Well, as a professional player, the most I can do is, you know, perform my duty on the field, perform my roles on the field, and, you know, if the national coaches is pleased with what they see, you know, I am more than willing and able to join the national team. The goal of the team is to score at least 3 goals per game, concede less than 1 goal per game, and in the 18 games, we want to win at least 60% of these games. In turn, I believe we will win the tournament once we fulfill these goals.
All right, guys, just before we wrap things up, we head to our coach's corner. And for that, my man, the boss, the coach, the former national defender, Ansel Elcock.
Thanks, Joel. Today we'll be speaking about the importance of warming down. The importance of warming down so is to prevent injuries so that the next day your body will less pains and aches so that it can be ready to go again. What we want to do in this warming down, the same muscle that we get going, we want to make sure that it cool right down. So as I say earlier on, you're ready, you would be ready for the next day to go, right? So you take your time, jog up and down, right? Second when you come back, you just, right? The third when you come back, you just right there. So you're jogging nice and easy, nice and slow, no intensity, right? And the next one like that. Yeah? Let's go. Yeah. Nice and easy, yeah. Good, second one. Good. Good. Nice. Nice. Stretch one time when you're doing it. Good. Good. Ten. Good. Nice. Good. Good. Nice and slow, take your time. Good. Good. You can turn and come back down. It's a nice stretch, right? Stretching, right? So we're basically we're trying to do is cool down the body now, right? So you could start from down in the ground. Good. Now touch your toes. Good. If you can go, breathe, keep breathing in and out. Yeah. Good. Good. Let for 8 seconds, open a little more, open your legs. Good, come forward. Yeah, come forward. Good, breathe in and out. Keep the knees flat if you can keep it flat. Good. Go to your right. Good. If you can touch it both hands, touch it both hands. Good. Twist the body, so you're stretching, making sure, yeah, good. Yeah, next side now, next side, yeah, good. So when you're doing both sides and then you'll do the twist, right? So that twist you now do, you'll cut it off until you're actually doing the twist. Yeah, yeah, both hands, keep your body straight, right? So you're like this, right? See me, toes straight up, head to your knees. Breathing in and out, right? Good, and same thing on the next side. Yeah, good. Right? Now, you're right here, and you're twisting. The twist. Next side. Good. Same thing. Open it right here, and you just touch your toes. Yeah, breathe in and out. Say again, deeper and deeper, right? Next side. Good. See if your hand could bring up your hand to your toe, your foot to you. Yeah, yeah, there's a young fella, man. You're supposed to be more flexible than that. Right, good. Good. Right, you're right there. Stay here. And just rock it in. All right, shake it out. Shake it out. And you're up here. Same leg. Pull it up. Next side. Good. Here first and then here, right? Good. All right. Right here. Good. Next side. See here, here, and you're going backward. Good. And good. On your stomach. On your stomach. On your stomach, right here. Push up. And down. And up. Good. And that's good. Well done. I want to thank Javon from the Larkita Rangers Academy. Thanks again. And back to you, Javon.
All right, that's going to do it for another week on the Ascension Football Show. I want to thank all the guests for passing through. And remember, women's football back on the front burner. The Ascension Football League supporting women's football in this country. We'll see you next week right here on the Ascension Football Show.